Hey everybody, this is Perch, and this is kind of a free shout out before I get to the video. So it's like a real legit sponsored video, except it wasn't sponsored. Nobody paid me to do it, but the good folks at Elegoo, it's Elegoo, and that's probably a terrible pronunciation. I apologize. I will legit apologize because they sent me a pretty badass printer. So there's they produce a number of 3D printers. And the one that I received was the Elegoo Saturn 2 8K, and it's a really nice printer. It's got a great space, and I'm not a person who's really into 3D printing. It wasn't something that I was burning and dying to do, but I was interested in the kids were interested in it. So we get this printer, and I want to just point out that if you're interested in 3D printing, this would be, it's expensive, but this is a pretty awesome printer to buy. It's, again, it's resin, so the prints you get off of it are incredible. Now, from, looking at some YouTube videos and other things, I think the 4K version or, just one of the cheaper models is probably just as good. I mean, unless you're a very serious model hobbyist, it's fine. But what's awesome about this printer is it's got a really nice big space, so you can actually print big things. So my younger daughter, wanted to make a Barbie, and she was able to print a full-size, big Barbie on this printer that was great. It didn't have any hair, so it was weird, and all the rest. But hey, it looked like some of the people that my kids used to see, homeless in Seattle. So it was not. No, I'm being facetious here. Anyway, it's a good printer. It smells, so you do have to use it in a place with ventilation, but even there it has a carbon filter that takes a lot of that away. I'm really impressed with this printer, so if you are in the market for a 3D printer, apparently some people from the company watch this show, and I've entertained whatever the hell you do at a 3D printer company all day. I'm hard work, I'm sure. But apparently they were entertained enough by the show to send a little thank you gift, so thank you very much. It is deeply appreciated. The kids have made all kinds of Pokemon and the Spy X Family characters, and I said a Barbie, and a phone case, and they're just printing all kinds of shit. So it's great. So highly recommended. Took zero background knowledge to know, and you took the trouble to send this my way. So I want to say thank you and do a little pitch. If you're looking to buy a 3D printer, but you're intimidated, like crap, how am I gonna where am I gonna find the models at, and is it gonna be too techy, and like, am I going to waste a lot of money trying to figure out how to use it? No, it is as dumb simple as it gets. Very, very easy. I've used 3D printers with filament before. Whole different universe. This thing is super freaking easy. So definitely highly recommended. Elegoo Saturn 2. So again, thank you very much. Great printer. Now let's get to the video. And in this, let's see, we got a question here. This question, are DC's newer titles only 6-issue arcs that can get extended past that now? Okay, that question's a little, the subject line's a little clumsy there, but I understand where you're going with this. So let's get this to this mail. It says, Dear Perch, with the news that the new Green Arrow title is going to be a 6-issue miniseries that has the potential to be extended past that, it's clear that most DC books and titles are really just 6 to 12 issue runs that can be extended past that if the sales are good. Therefore, it's clear that titles like Tim Drake, Robin, Batgirls, Batman Inc., World's Finest are just extended mini-series that will end as soon as, on an issue divisible by 6. World's Finest is the only one I believe that will make it past 2023 unless sales are just bad. Even then, I think I agree with you. I think it's the one that has the best shot. I believe I heard the news that Robin is canceled, I think, and I believe Black Girls has also been canceled. I may be wrong about that, but that's at least the rumor mill around the water cooler. And we'll finish off this mail, but I mean, yeah. It is clear that is a new publishing strategy. We're going to do 6-issue arcs at a time. If sales are good, we'll extend for another 6 issues, and we'll just go on indefinitely. Now, there's a major sales flaw in that plan, which we'll get to in a minute. But let's finish off the mail. It says, however, it's clear that having a limited series for the length of a title serves to harm the long-term growth of the books and discourage most people who want a stable gig on a book. This is not a sign of a healthy company. A profitable one, sure, but not a healthy one. I like the way you said that. That's correct. DC is profitable. Being profitable doesn't mean healthy. So, and by the way, being unhealthy doesn't mean unprofitable. You could be profitable and unhealthy. You don't want to be profitable and healthy because your long-term future prospects are bad. And it is kind of moving the deck chairs around the Titanic. It's not like the ship is sinking. You can actually survive indefinitely, being unhealthy and profitable. Several companies do. The problem is companies that are unhealthy and profitable, when they hit disruption, when somebody comes around with a better offer or some better value proposition, they die almost immediately. And that's why you don't want to be in that state. One of the reasons you want to be healthy, and yes, you definitely want to be profitable, but one of the reasons you want to be profitable and healthy is because you have to assume that just like there's sunny days, there are also cloudy days. And even though your business is great, there may come a day when it's not. If you are healthy, you can dip into unprofitability, you can dip into problems, and you can pull out of it and survive because the core of your business is healthy. People are happy, the fundamentals are good, the business is strong. Even if you're not making as much money or, God forbid, you actually start losing money for a period of time, if your company is healthy, you will pull out of it. But if it's double whammy, if it's unhealthy and unprofitable, you're fucked. Or if it's, and again, this is where I think DC is at. It's where Marvel is at. Both companies are profitable, not terribly profitable, and they are both unhealthy. So it's a huge risk factor. A lot of people, want to go nuts and they have to have everything bad. It's not enough to just be, unhealthy. They have to be unhealthy, unprofitable, filled with cancer, dying constantly, just awful on every front. But that's not the real world. That's make-believe town. Still, if you're unhealthy, it's dangerous. It's like, it's like getting into your car hammered. There's a good chance you can make it home. If you drive the same route every day, no, I'm not talking about myself. If you do the same thing every day, just basic instinct and kind of muscle memory will kick in, and you probably will get home okay. But your risk of colliding your car off the street or missing the light and plowing into something go up like 500%. So it's not the best scenario to drive hammered or not sleep for 3 days and then take a trip across Texas in your car. That is a bad idea. Your senses are dulled. You'll probably make it. The odds are actually with you that you'll probably make it, but you've increased your risk tolerance a ton. And that's where the U.S. comic publishers are. They're like somebody who is hammered out of their mind trying to make their way home. They probably will make it, but there is a chance they're going to careen off that bridge.
It says the mail finishes out with also how well are the new Golden Age titles selling? Many things. So, it's hard to say is the answer. We don't really know how well they're selling. But in general, look, the 6-issue arc, and if it does well, we'll get another 6 issues. It's basically stacking the odds against it doing well because of a lot of reasons. Readers will smell that this is not a long-term commitment from the company, and so they'll be a little less likely to support it. That we know. If you get a good creative team and you get a good compelling story, you can make a limited series work. Lots of people do, and it's not a bad plan. However, keep in mind when you see a successful limited series with a really strong creative team, like Avengers Forever, that was a successful, good series. The current Avengers Through Time that Levitz and Davis are doing, it's great first issue. It's like one of the best new Marvel comics I've read in a long time. It's wonderful, and it will do well, but it's billed from the start. I mean, there's no illusions that it's going to get extended. It is telling a story. It's identified itself as a finite story, and it's going to run with that. That's cool. That works. But if it's something like like World's Finest or Tim Drake Robin or Batgirls or whatever it happens to be, that they're not telling a finite story, they're telling an arc. And you've trained your comic buying audience for the last 60 years to expect ongoing, sequential titles. That's what you've done. That's the game you've created. So if now you're going to suddenly turn around and go, well, LOL JK, if you like it, great. You trained your audience a certain way. The other and maybe the bigger problem is that you're training your creative team to not give a shit about the long-term future of the character. And I've done some videos lately about, what does it take to break a character, like the X-Men stuff. Are they doing things that are making it very hard for future writers to come around and tell a good story? Well, one way to double down on that bad strategy would be if you basically set as a standard, yeah, we're doing 6-issue arcs, and if it does well, we'll do another 6 issues, but you're always kept on an extremely short leash. That is a terrible, terrible environment to get writers to actually do great stories and do good work. It's awful. It's not gonna, your odds of success are 0. Because what's going to happen is a creator's going to come in, they're going to have one idea, but there's 0 incentive for them to tell long-term stories, to introduce subplots, to do more. Because they know, they're not stupid, they know the odds are against that title going on forever. They may get renewed for a second arc, but the likelihood that they go to 3, very, very low. 4, almost impossible. Because in addition to that just not being a model it's going to resonate with readers, they also know that the publisher themselves is constantly looking at it going, you know what, we should really reboot this thing because, then we can do a new #1 issue and have some variant covers, and yeah, that would be good. We should go ahead and, yeah, we should do that. Look, I think that if you're taking a strategy and I get why the publisher would do it. It's a very safe strategy for them. It's basically saying we're just going to commit just enough to get an arc out, and then we're going to pay attention to the sales, and then we're going to, if it does well, great, we'll do more. But again, as a work environment, that's not going to give you the best creative work. It's going to send a bad message to the readers. And remember, many, many weeks ago, videos that I did back in the dark days of 2022. Remember when I did the video saying that the creators usually don't have access to the numbers? They don't get to see them? Yeah, that's true. So let me get this straight. If we're going to do a comic approach where, if the title is successful and it sells well, it's going to get renewed, but we're going to hide the sales numbers. We're not going to tell the creative team any of the sales numbers, and the editors, may not even have it either. Then how exactly is that strategy going to work? A strategy where you're going to keep titles going and renew them if they sell well only functions if you have got tons and tons of metrics and data and analytics and sales that you as the editor can sit down with the creative team and really work on. And bear in mind, that'd be a good thing. If the editor had a weekly call with the creative team to say, all right, here's what's going on with your book. By the way, if you're a small company and you want to really differentiate yourself and gain a ton of loyalty from creators, set up a weekly sales call, half an hour. And basically, the creators who are working on your books can join the call, and you basically run through what you're seeing. Hey, this is what we sold on digital. Here's what we're doing on print. Hey, this issue right here sold better than we were expecting. We were targeting, 10,000 issues, and we sold 12. So, we want to know why. Well, the cover was more catchy. The solicitation text was good. It was they're whatever. That would be great. Can you imagine how, creators would love to, well, not all of them. Several creators would love to get that data. They'd become more powerful. They'd start to learn what works and what doesn't work in their book. They'd get better. This is a way to make the industry more healthy. Share more of the data. Only good things could come of that. But anyway, but there you go. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Like and subscribe, of course. And thanks for listening.